Hi, Rob here again. I have a little more information on this 1969 Olympic 320 AS. It has a great history, this machine, and it's one of the reasons why I chose this particular snowmobile is because it was oval raced in Minnesota, and I bought a bunch of snowmobiles from Minnesota, and so that's how I ended up with this guy. He's really neat because he's got some real neat features. Somebody has taken and knocked the old HR carburetor off it and put this much bigger millimeter Mikuni carburetor on it. This is a slide draft carburetor, and they've put a fuel pump on it. And what that has done is this has taken this from a 320 up to the same thing as a TNT, because it's got now a big bore carburetor on it like the TNT of this year had, which was an HD carburetor, and that's what gave them the extra designation for the extra bit of CCs. So this snowmobile is in actually really good shape, and it has ski wideners that have been put on it to make it's much more stable than when it was brought out of the factory. It had foot catches on it so that when you were leaning around corners, your foot would lock in there. I actually took those off, so I'm taking it back so that it can be just a driver again. I'm going to the exhaust is going to be changed out. I have a gentleman in Minnesota going to make me an expansion chamber or a header for it, which will give it another slight bit more power, and it's all just for fun. To do that, it's really simple to do this carburetor as well, because it's only a matter of taking that other carburetor off and this little plate, and then you just use a piece of hose on there and clamp it on, and then you put the carburetor on, and this carburetor can be found on any newer model snowmobile along with the fuel pump. This is a double fuel pump, and one section is closed off and the other section goes to the carburetor. So that's somewhat, a rundown on the mechanical end of it. This snowmobile has a great track. It has pretty good shape. This is a bubble nose snowmobile too, by the way, which means it has that whole bubble nose effect. And yeah, so it's good. I took the back off, and I'm cleaning it in preparation for paint. And this is really a hard styrene plastic, and it's very hard to paint, and it has a tendency to peel. So this one is in really good shape. So what I did was I cleaned this with rubbing compound. Don't put any kind of a harsh thinner on it or anything, because it will melt the plastic. Same with the windshields. It'll melt the plastic, and that it'll melt lights, anything. So if you're going to clean it just with a compound and a rag rather, and do the best you can. And then I'm going to actually just paint some black across here, because this matches up back in there, and then that kind of cleans up the rusty stuff across there. So that's what's happening for today on it. I'm also going to put the trailer hitch back on it. It had a trailer hitch back here. I'm going to reinstall that and then paint the frame, and yeah, and then carry on with it, and then I will I'll move on to another video when I get the start on the hood and the paint. Okay, keep tuned for some more videos on some tech tips and some other treats on other snowmobiles that I'm also restoring. Thanks a lot. Bye.